Hey, so Tack, hope everything's going well. Um, on your end, I'm glad you had a couple of nice recovery days. Glad you're feeling better. Glad your training is good. Let me know what else is going on. Uh, um, on my end, I think this was like a very rough week. Just sleep was a little bit tough. It just got very stressful. There's a lot going on with our home purchase and our move. And so it was just a very difficult week, sort of in terms of taking care of the kids, too. It was just like a lot of work. This was probably the hardest so far. But I think we're probably turning a corner, hopefully. And then Heidi's taking the kids with her parents for a few days next week to see her dad for Father's Day. So that'll be good. I'll miss them, obviously, but it'll be good to just rest up and sleep. And then this weekend, things are a little bit better. I slept really well last night, which just makes a huge difference. Couple of updates on my end. So sleep. I log the hours. You tell me. You let me know what's sort of going on. I think it's kind of okay. I don't think we're at like some critical phase. It's just get very tired. Eating wise, I'm completely on track as always. Never go off plan. Pretty hungry, man. But I have some secret weapons that I've been deploying. So, I'm doing trifecta, which is pretty good because those meals are kind of gross. Like trifecta, compared to my other more local meal prep company that's around my area of New Jersey called Eat Clean Bro that I was doing. Trifecta is just bland, gross food. Their veggies are gross. And that makes it really easy to diet. They also come in like, they're usually around 300, 400 calories. It's like not a real meal. So I usually have like that and a piece of fruit or that and a couple of almonds. And so that's secret weapon number one. Secret weapon number two, obviously lean meats and veggies is the absolute best for satiety. But specifically for me, sauerkraut has been awesome, off the charts, because it's extremely low calorie. Maybe has some probiotic benefits, but it's filling and it's hearty and it goes well with meat and it's awesome. And if it's too gross, you add a little bit of honey mustard to it. It's mwah. I'm wearing my cast again because my wrist and my thumb are so fucked up from lifting the kids around. So secret weapon number two is sauerkraut. Secret weapon number three is like lean deli meats. I got that from you. You eat that pastrami, but I've been eating like fairly lean roast beef. So like a serving is 12 grams of protein, 3 grams of fat. You have just enough fat there that it really helps with satiety, and not enough that it's a calorie bomb. It's just like perfect. So have a bunch of that and sauerkraut as a meal, maybe some carrots, some slightly more starchy veggies. Just perfect. So I've been crushing it, even though hunger levels are at a peak. And I think that may be because I'm relatively low body fat. Like when I get pretty lean, every bout of additional dieting, without regard to the length of the diet or the amount of accumulated diet fatigue, I kind of feel it. So that's great. It's a great biomarker, not a problem at all. Had some energy issues earlier this week just because I'm trying to keep my stim intake still relatively low, just to make sure I really don't fuck up my sleep at all. But if that keeps up, I'll take care of it with a little more caffeine, maybe some nicotine. Shout out to Abel. But yeah, should be good. And then training, I think was very good this week. I've been really focused on technique. It was deload week, which I think we maybe could have stretched it another week, but I'm really glad we didn't. It was just good to rest up, and I definitely think I probably had enough. Definitely probably had enough stimulus to keep from losing muscle, even on a tight deficit. The only follow-up questions are about training. So, one, the dumbbell RDLs. So really everything's around the dumbbell day because the rest I have nailed down. Dumbbell RDLs. I still don't kind of have these down. They're not like really clicking for me. I did alternate leg. I did single leg essentially, and I did them with some weights. You let me know if those weights are too light, what I logged, because I'm trying to do everything same weight. And I didn't do this one at home. I actually did it. I had a day at the commercial gym, but I did the dumbbell workout anyway because that's what we programmed, and I want to get good at doing that so I could do it at home. But so I did single leg. Let me know if that's too light. And then when I do single leg, should I do the same arm as the side of my leg, or should I do opposite? I tried both. I like opposite better. But the interesting thing is the way the load sort of gets distributed from where the dumbbell is to ultimately the hamstring, which is the prime mover of the exercise. I'm not sure if that's like a super good idea to be distributing the load like that. It definitely feels much more balanced. It feels like a good exercise. Just from like a mechanics standpoint, is doing it with the alternate, holding the dumbbell in the alternate hand to the working hamstring and glute. Is that a bad idea? Because if so, we'll kind of go back to the drawing board. Goblet squats, I did them I couldn't find a band in my gym, so I did them with a dumbbell. It was good. Will be great with a band at home. And then the other thing is the arm dumbbell exercises. So first time I did this workout, I did both arms and no rest, and it was an insane pump and it felt very productive. This time I did one arm. I did like right arm reverse curl, left arm reverse curl, no rest, right arm curl, left arm curl, etc. Rest, between the giant sets, about 2 minutes or something. And you know what? Alternating, it just felt far less productive, and the perceived maybe metabolic effects, if I'm saying that correctly, just pump, burn, all of those things, which is presumably why we're doing the exercise in this fashion. I felt like I didn't really get that benefit. I definitely did reps, I got volume, but with doing it with both hands, it was just fucking insane. It was such a great feeling. But again, I don't want to do what feels good. I want to do what's most efficient. So you tell me. I would prefer to do it, two hands at the same time. I think my mechanics I don't think they suffer too much. Not throwing around very heavy weights on this exercise. But you tell me. Let me know what you think makes more sense. You're familiar with my execution. I told you what my preference is, but my preference is very mild compared to my preference for efficacy.